Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, jury. It's my pleasure to speak to you. My name is Jaciel Spendal. I'm from Poland, Freedom Entrepreneurship Foundation. And I would like to present you my project. Has it ever happened to you to search for different opportunities in the freedom movement at dozens different websites? Well, it happened to me many times. And unless you don't get invitation by email, you need to go to all these different websites you saw just before this guy showed up at the monitor. You need to be really smart to find these conferences, European Resource Bank, Atlas events, and so on and so forth. So if you, people who are full-time free market advocates, have a problem with that, think about students. A person who read first book on liberty, and this person would like to find out more about ideas of freedom. And yet it's so hard to find this information, especially here in Europe. That creates a problem. That's the question of easy access is really crucial. Ludwig von Mises, you all know him, our hero. He said that every human action, every action of a person is supposed to alleviate the felt of unease. And we have a problem with the thing I just mentioned, and we need a solution. Why do we need to seek this? Why do we need to heal and to find this solution? We need it because the information is heavily fragmented, and we need good type of centralization of the information in the, yes, this slide, of the freedom movement. And we also need to look beyond the liberty movement. We need to reach to people who are smart but not yet in this camp. And we need to reach out to students. That's why we need solution. Go next. And this is the solution, libertyhub.eu. It's going to be new website, smart website, which will gather all the information, all these pieces together, and it will have information about events. It will have news from free market world in Europe. It will have directory of think tanks. It will have also regular newsletter. So all these things that are so much needed will be there at libertyhub.eu. Go next. How we can deliver this? We can deliver this great product, Liberty Hub EU, on many different platforms. It can be good for computers, smartphones, tablets. It will be also present in social media, major social medias like Facebook, Twitter, and others. And we do have at Freedom Entrepreneurship Foundation a team of 3 people, the journalist, the researcher, the IT guy, who are ready to start. They just need the green light. Give them the green light. And we are very experienced in the different projects, and we used to do things based on grants, and later we were self-sufficient. We found market ways to sustain. That gives credibility. Go next. And these are the finances. In the first year, we are able to finance this project with the grant from Dragon's Den, if you choose us, I hope so, and the money that my foundation saved for this project. And that'll be the first year, the crucial year, but we will prove, I'm confident about this, that in the second year, we will be able to continue operations based on market forces. We have a plan how to fund it with paid partnerships, donations, advertisements, and different sort of free market campaigns. It will be the good product, so it will find answer from the market. Please go next. And you know what? We are not only credible organization, we are also trusted organization. And I exchanged emails with many leaders from European think tanks, and these logotypes you see here, they already told me, Jacek, we like what you do. We would really appreciate if this website is established. So my final remark is, please give us a chance. Give us a chance to start this website, and hopefully this idea can go from concept into reality. Thank you very much. Sorry for the technical things. It just works differently at different computers.
No problem. So my question for you is, you said you used to do things through grants, and grants drove what you did, but now you're being driven by the market. So who's going to be your first advertiser, and who's your top goal advertiser? How much are you going to charge them?
So in the first year, in the first months, we will not charge money because we need to demonstrate that this concept has a future and that this concept makes sense, basically. That's why we need the Dragon's Dance money, and that's why we also have a little saving in our small foundation. But during the time, we can prove that this is a place where actually people from the movement and beyond the movement go to find out what's going on about events, about news, about job openings, internships. We will see traffic and we will reach out to these organizations telling them, you see, this is working. This is helping you guys and this is helping the liberty movement. So it's win-win. And we need to continue operations. So we will set up the partnership program. It will be cheap because we want to be accessible for basically everybody in this. This is not closed club of think tanks. This will be for every organization in Europe. So I'm thinking about small price, 10 euros a month from each organization. But also when it comes to advertisements, who will be possibly interested? Well, maybe Atlas Network, maybe Austrian Economic Center, which is organizing these great umbrella events. Maybe Open Europe, that is also interested in coalitions. All these organizations that are looking beyond their own activity, but also strong think tanks. So I'm pretty sure if this is gonna be sustainable, we will not have really a problem to find money to sustain the operations. Thank you.
A question regarding your subscribers and how you're going to acquire those email addresses. What number is a win for you for people using your website? You're going to go about acquiring those contacts.
So we will acquire the email addresses through the website. There will be a special box where you can leave your email. What is also important, and I didn't manage to put it into 5 minutes presentation, the team at my foundation will be searching the websites from the European think tanks and free market organizations to gather the information, but there will be also mechanism of self-submit. For example, if there is University of Ljubljana, for example, they held free market event. Maybe we don't recognize it as well as we recognize IEA, Center for Austrian Economics, and so on, because it's not traditional organization to do these things, but they can submit themselves. We will gather the people through Facebook campaigns. We want to reach to as many people as possible through Facebook. Also, using our good connections with Atlas Network and using our good connections with European networks, we will ask these outlets to inform about this new website, because we need marketing. You are very, very right. So it will go through marketing, through emails via our partners, and mechanism of giving us email and Facebook campaign.
And just the second part, how many subscribers or users would you consider to be a win?
I would consider, in the first few months, if we have, for example, in the first month at 1,000 of them, it's already a good number, but we need to aim for multiplication of this number.
Not 9 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, something longer than a month.
Do we talk about people who are reading the website, original users who read the website, or are we talking about people who leave the email? Because there might be two different...
Just leave the email and access it.
So if this will be few thousand emails, it will be great until the first year. However, I know it will not be easy, but who is not risking, the one is not winning, right?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
I would like to follow up on that you just mentioned. This will be a bank of quite a few things. It will be like research papers, job openings, and also articles. And will you secure its quality? That is, would you guarantee for your subscribers that it's quality level on it, that it's a real job, for example, when they're self-submitting? And B, how will you make all these different organizations submit to you? How will you approach them?
I will start with the last question. I do understand that this is not easy because often people declare things and they don't do things. That is why we actually have a person who will be designated for this and 2 volunteers working with him whose big part of the mission of the job will be to do research. And we already thought in the small team how to do this research, how to gather this information. So, of course, it'll be perfect if organizations submit to us. But even if they don't, we are concerned about finding ourselves this information. How to qualify them? Well,
how
obviously,
to guarantee it's a real job, it's a real paper?
Well, that's a good question. Of course, if this is a job, for example, proposed by Bruno Leoni Institute, then we don't have any concerns and we are pretty sure about quality. But if it's like institution that none of us heard about this, we will take some action to find out who are these people and what it is really. Because to be trustworthy is number one principle, and I'm definitely aware of this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You will be working in English, yes? The hub.
Yes, and this is a good question. We are not able to put all the events in all the languages from different European countries. So this website will focus on English language events, English language content, and so on. The think tanks produce usually both local language and English language. We will focus on the second category because obviously we don't speak all these languages.
So articles, research papers, it will be more navigation into available sources?
Yes, we will. We are not the original. We will not be the original place of publication, and that's for sure. These think tanks have their own websites. There are even websites like Epicenter where they also submit research papers. So when it comes to research papers, we will not be the original source, but we will, through the news, we will navigate there. And when it comes to events, which is actually very important for us, because I found out this is so completely fragmented right now. It's so hard to put these puzzles together. Events will be presented not just like a news, but it will be presented as a very nice calendar. So you can like scroll this calendar, find out in June 2019, there is, for example, a deadline for Ayn Rand Institute essay contest for young students from around the world. And they can track these things much easier than now when you need to navigate these dozens of websites.
Why it should be more effective than Google?
Because Google is a place where you can find everything and anything, and it's hard to navigate through all the internet. We don't talk about navigation through all the internet. We talk about free market world, and not all the free market world. We talk about free market arena in Europe and the English-speaking one. So it's actually more narrow, and there is growing liberty movement here, and we need to give a tool.
It's European Liberty Hub.
Yes, that's why it's libertyhub.eu. It's European Liberty Hub, because this is European Resource Conference, European Resource Bank, and we want to fit into this conference. And to be honest, I think it's needed more in Europe than in the US. In the US, they have similar kind of websites already, but in Europe is very needed, in my opinion.
But you will use Japanese, Chinese, and American content.
Once again?
You will navigate into Japanese, Chinese, and American content, Canadian.
Well, maybe, but I don't want to promise this today, because right now we are focusing on European free market network. And maybe that'll be next step, but I don't want to over-promise. That's one of my important features. I don't want to over-promise. I want to promise only what will be done, and then we will talk about more.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.